Hey everyone, and welcome to the next edition of the Snapchat. I'm joined today by Cozy Snap. Cozy, we have a lot to talk about today. A full season in review. We're going to be holding ourselves accountable for some rankings, which honestly might have, I might get called out a little bit for one or two of the rankings. But overall, I mean, it was a kind of an interesting season this past, and we also got a bunch of Series 4 cards shadow dropped on us, like the Oblivion Remastered Edition. Series 4 Remastered, boom. So we're going to be talking about all those as well. We got a lot of cards to go through here, Coach, so we're going to dive right in. What I'm going to say here is that there's some hits this season. There are some misses this season. We have snap packs. A lot of stuff has changed. But what has not changed is the plot armor of Season Pass cards. Captain Carter, the Season Pass card, came out. It was performing okay. It was performing simply okay. It was not great. And it was a 4 cost. It got moved to a 3 cost. And now suddenly, it's getting a little more life, a little more play. Was that what you expected from Captain Carter?
Yeah, we said it. We literally said, I think when we were reviewing it, we were like, we don't know how the front row, back row thing works, but if it doesn't work well, we know one thing. They're going to buff this card lightning fast, and that they did, and this is one of the bigger significant, like, oh, wow, that this really is going to help where it's played at, that we haven't seen in a good amount. Like Gilgamesh had that huge, like, whoa. Which, you know what's crazy? Gilgamesh was released either in June or May last year. We've had that card a year now. Time's flying.
Wow.
But, you know, with that, we saw a very quick turnaround, but it just made it more powerful. Whereas this, like, quite literally changed the entire purpose-ish of the card.
Yeah, cost reduction is huge. Like, power changes, whatever, but in a card game with 6 or 7 turns, cost reduction is very significant, and it made perfect sense. And I think it was an admission that the macro consideration of how you play Captain Carter and the positioning that you put her in was too much of a restriction. It was also a 4-drop that did not want to be played with Zabu. Like, the decks just were not conducive with Zabu play, and as a result, she was always a 4-drop, and that wasn't great. So far, one of the concerns was if she's a 3-drop, how does it interact with Moonstone? The interaction is positive to the tune of that particular deck seeing a 53 to 54% win rate on like thousands of games played. But on average, despite the buff, on aggregate, Captain Carter Post-Infinite still runs a flat 50% win rate at 16% meta popularity. So it's not a mover, it's not a shaker. It's a card that exists and it's doing its thing.
It plays better than it stats, I feel like. At least that's how yes. I love this. I think this is a very enjoyable card to play.
It is enjoyable, but when it got moved to the 3 cost and it had its power reduced, yes, you got the advantage of the cost reduction, but the power reduction is a bit of a double whammy on a card like this. It's almost like Gladiator, right? When you add 1 power to Gladiator, you're double dipping on what that power does. Yep. Captain Carter is the same thing. It would not surprise me if this card's a 3-3.
Yeah, it goes up to a 3-3 eventually.
In the next couple months.
Yeah, I think they had to.
I think it's a 3-3.
I think all their testing they did at 4, and so like they couldn't. I think going to 3-3 immediately was too risky, and so you know they went with the 3-2 at first because they don't want to go to 3-3. It's too good. They go back down to 3-2. Then people are you know what? You don't want another Surtur situation. So and he got a million buffs or nerfs at that point. So I think they played a bit more safe. I'll take a 3-3 all day. 3-2 though is strong as well.
Yeah, it's strong, but it's not high enough, especially when you consider what this season was with the next card we'll be talking about. Captain Carter and those shells. Like, you shouldn't see ongoing base shells maxing out at 54% when you have Captain Carter and the next card we're talking about, Goliath, who has been a Goliath for ongoing. Honestly, you're not seeing a single ongoing deck not running Goliath right now. It has a high meta popularity with about 9%, less than Captain Carter, but also Captain Carter is being played in Surfer, whereas Goliath is not. I think that's part of the discrepancy from a popularity percentage perspective. Its win rate is 2% higher at 52% win rate, despite the lower popularity. It has a positive cube rate, and it is a part of the best versions of Captain Carter, or Agent Carter, Captain Carter, are running Goliath. Goliath is seeing play in Thanos shells. It's being played in Spectrum shells. It's being played absolutely everywhere where ongoing is present. Spectrum is present. And it's crushing. It's doing very well, especially as the 2 slot. It is the scaling option at the 2 cost that ongoing need. It doesn't quite moon reach the way like a Morbius does or even a Strange Supreme, but it's an excellent card.
Yeah, it's what we wanted from it. Kind of like an anchor card, the one that's just well statted for where it's at. And we don't often get anchor cards this, late in the snap, right? So like getting these cards that just really just help get the archetype rolling. And then what I said, I think a long time ago, is like it's a very beginner friendly card. It's a very good card that can go into a wide variety of different builds, even though it's all ongoing. There's a lot of ways to make it work. So I think Goliath hit about where we expected.
Yeah. Now it's worth noting that for Captain Carter, we came in at 4 stars. So the season pass coming in at 4 stars, we did have some reservations. It probably didn't even quite reach 4 stars there, but we did both come in at 5 stars for Goliath. And if you consider what it did for that archetype, I think Goliath has earned that. Although I would say it's probably closer to a 4.5.
4.5 is probably what I would give it. Yeah,
it's not quite a 5. Like if you consider what 5 usually means, right?
I think Captain Carter's a 4-star card now, potentially, as a 3 cost.
You think so? I don't think it even.
It's just how it plays. I don't know. I like it. Yeah, would you just give it a 3? You're not gonna give it a 2.
I would say it's a 3, but I think that it needs to be buffed to a 3.
I think it's a
and I think that
3.
happens sooner than later.
Yeah, I think it's a strong 3. But yeah, as far as Goliath, yeah, I think we at least nailed the take that we thought it was going to be like a very solid card this month that had a definite. We both had it at 5, yeah.
We both had it at 5, yes.
Alrighty, man. So far, so decent.
So far, so good. Now, next we have Kahhori. Now, Kahhori, unfortunately, is seeing almost no play post-Infinite, and therefore the stats we have are very unreliable. So untap-based statistics post-Infinite over the last 7 days, she's seeing only a 2% popularity and a win rate barely over 40%. And so, like, you're not seeing it at all. Like, the decks just simply aren't seeing play. But what I will say is that Kahhori actually surprised me a little bit. Like, I didn't mind Kahhori in my play and my time with it. It was a card that I was playing in a Thanos Loki shell. It was very successful in those decks. The shell itself was good. It was a card that I probably started low on, but as I continued to play, I was like, you know what? I actually don't mind this card. Like, this card's a card that does its thing, puts out like mathematically strong power. I think it's deceptive how much points it puts up, but I can see why people probably just said, it's not worth playing.
It's just not needed.
Worth getting. Like, it's just not needed. Yeah, it wasn't sparkly enough.
Like
it just
Fastos or something where it's like cool, but it's like,
Yeah. I absolutely agree. Like, what were your thoughts on Kahhori?
What did we give Kahhori again?
Kahhori, we both came in at 3.5.
I don't like that
3.5, which I think we're on the high end. I think she feels like a 3. She feels like a 3. But she's statted like a 2 and a 1.
Yeah. Like, I think we're like, where I think Carter is and where you think she is like the opposite for Kahhori. I just have her rated lower. I didn't think she was A, needed, and B, like, I just forgot about her quickly. Like, as I continue to play especially one card, like, we messed around with her in Thanos. It's like, well, gee, there's one other card that came out this month that did pretty good in Thanos as well, and that ended up being like obviously the trade off there. So like, there are cards that we get when they're new cards. They're like the card of the week, and then they just gone into oblivion. And this one is definitely going to be staying in oblivion for a little bit.
Yeah, but for me, it's like, I keep saying this, and like, this happened with Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross too, where like, I actually played the card a lot.
Because Thaddeus was awesome in a Surtur, like in a
which was crushing,
stupid good meta deck. Like if Devil Dino was going off the charts, man, I'd be playing Kahhori more, but we're not there.
Yeah. Like, you're right. You're right. Like, I could have put Coulson in that deck and raised Coulson's win rate, right? Like, I understand what you're saying, but what I mean is sometimes I latch onto cards because like I actually enjoy playing them. And Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross was a good example. It's where everyone like punted on that card, but I was like actually playing it. I'm like, no, it's doing the thing more than you think it is. It's better than you think it is, but it's not great. It'll get buffed to a 2/3 at some random OTA at some point, but. With Kahhori, I think this is a very similar spot.
Okay.
Where I think it's an unremarkable card that probably is completely fine statistically, not worthy of a buff, but also not needing like you to seek it out, for instance, right?
That's the beauty of Snap, though, right? It's just finding things that fit personality and play styles, and then that happens in several games. But I think Snap is a great. It happens a lot where like. Listen, there are people that are still just like even looking at something like Havoc, right? Like some people hate Havoc. Alex,
I love Havoc.
he likes
man.
Havoc. So
I
it
love
just it fits your playstyle more, and we see that with potentially Kahhori too.
I'm pretty sure on Havoc's Spotlight Week, I 8-rolled for the Spotlight variant because it was one of those like
Yeah,
Sebastian
same.
Shaw
So
Hellfire
good.
Gala
Yeah.
ones. It looked so good, man. He actually kind of looks like you, to be honest with you.
I'll take it.
That's particular Spotlight looks like you.
I'll take it.
For what it's worth, this is a fun little fact. I don't know who was completely obliterated playing Kahhori, but on Untapped, if you actually go to the deck, someone was playing 300 games of Kahhori at a 14% win rate at a cube rate of -5. It's like they're 8 cubes snapping with Kahhori and just dying. I
Every
don't even
Friday
know what
smash night, they're just like, you know what I can do? Lose some cubes. Let's roll it.
Someone hard donating an infinite. But talking about infinite, Cozy, one of the better segues into Infinity Ultron you could have asked for.
Wow.
By golly, Cozy, this card, this is something. You came in at 2 stars. 2 stars. And somehow that seems high. I came in at 3, and somehow that seems even higher. Cozy, this card completely fell on its face. And it's funny because when I was playing it, it felt awful everywhere except Surfer. I was like so surprised. I'm like, how is this actually working in Surfer? And I remember texting you. I was like, you're right, dude. It actually works in Surfer. And then it got buffed, and it still is not being played anywhere. Like, it's just, what a poo-poo card, man.
It's just funny how, like, I don't know. I feel like if Spider-Man was released today with like a really bad ability, we'd find a way to cope about it because it's Spider-Man, and like maybe he'll be good. And so, like, I feel like, you look at, like, Elixir and you're like, trash, one star. But, like, we wanted to like this card more. But I didn't want to let my personal feelings for how cool the character is affect how good and consistent I think it was going to be. So I called it a fun card. It's fun, but it's very inconsistent. And if you like losing, it's not fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude, it's not even that fun, bro. Like, we're
fun
really
the day it came
coping
out.
now,
It was
buddy.
cool when it came out, yeah. It's bad. It's a bad card.
Yeah, it's running a 43% win rate right now.
43
on
so bad.
43%. That's post buff, dude. Like,
That's
what
so
are we
bad,
doing?
dude.
It's not. It has a 4% popularity, so it's not seeing a lot of games. Admittedly, the decks are awful though. Like, there was attempts to play it in Hella. There was attempts to play it and just sucks. It just sucks. Like, I don't know what else to say. I think the key problem with it, and I'll come back to this. I said it during like even the OTA spiel I had, was that it just, if you're gonna commit turn 5 to Infinity Ultron, you're also committing turn 6 to Infinity Ultron. Those stones have to carry the weight of what a Magneto does, of what a Doctor Doom does. They have to carry the weight of, oh, I'm committing my turn 6 to playing 2 of these damn things. They don't do that. There are 2 of the stones that are complete garbage. Infinity Ultron's power is fine. The drone thing's fine. Doubling his power is fine. All that's fine. Just the move one and whatever, they need to be better. And until they're better, this card is absolute garbage. Thankfully, that's a text change away. And they're going to make that change. Because I think you don't invest that much effort in making a card like this, even if it's not the Season Pass card, and having it be as poo as it is.
A lot of knobs to adjust on Infinity Ultron, which is always a good thing for a card. It means it has that much better of a chance to get boosted in an OTA.
Oh, there's no question about it. And that takes us to our next card of the season, which we both said was our 5-star fun card, but we suspected that Goliath was going to have a higher meta impact. We came in at 4.5, and in our conversation, which I listened back to, we basically wanted to give it 5 stars, but we said we were committing to the Goliath route as being the best card of the month, so to speak. So shame on us, I guess. But Goliath ended up being great for what it's worth, right? We were not completely off there. But Strange Supreme, and I think what really sold us here was the trailer. We saw what it was doing, and we're like, hell yeah. But here's what's fascinating, Cozy. You have one deck that just got figured out. And this is a great point you brought up on your side, actually. Sometimes you just need one deck. On aggregate, in the last 7 days post-Infinite, you would be surprised to know that Strange Supreme is running a lower win rate than Captain Carter. It's running a 49% win rate at a 20% popularity. But very recently, over the last several days, a Thanos-based shell is running a 57% win rate and is gaining in popularity. So next week, we're going to be talking about Strange Supreme with a very different stat profile as a particular deck takes hold. Strange Supreme is extremely popular right now, and it's just kind of catching its legs underneath it.
Yeah, I was on Twitter, and I just saw a picture the other day, and it's like the Spider-Man, like everywhere I go, I see his face, and it's Thanos and Supreme. It's starting to take wind fast, man. Word travels fast in Snap, and yeah, that deck's starting to really gain wind. But yeah, I think Strange definitely over-delivered even on the 4.5 we gave it. Definitely proved itself to be great. They got Rhino out there, trying to give some aid to him as well. And we both thought Thanos was going to be a good home, and lo and behold, that's what happened. I don't know. Does it feel like the overall cards, like all of the cards net together, have been worse than seasons of like a year ago?
Yes.
I think by far. I think there's a lot more duds, bro. Like way more duds. Especially
look
this
at
year.
Next month, man. Next month doesn't look great.
This whole year.
A couple absolute bangers.
This whole year. Yeah. I think like it used to be like, oh, I could use this. Oh, whoa. Oh, cool. And now it's like, if you play it here, maybe, and do this, then I can see. And it does go back to what I just said. It's like, my episode where I said, the longer snaps out, the more tight these things get. And it's tough.
Yeah, it is. And Strange Supreme, though, I think part of the reason why the win rate is fluctuating is because I'm playing against Strange Supreme players, and they're not playing Cosmos. I'm like, buddy, what do you do? Like, you can't have a 22 power 2-drop sitting there just to get clubbed by Shangers. Like, it's coming. And because some do play Cosmo, I'll punch it out early. I don't care. It's often over 10 power by like turn 4. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Well, you bring it back with Elixir. Boom. Thanos Elixir
gameplay. Like, bro, you
go.
just made a cell case for Elixir. There it is. Strange Supreme Elixir.
Self-own. Classic self-own right there. But yeah, I think Strange Supreme is probably ultimately the card of the month.
Yep. No question.
It is, Cozy. And what is not going to be card of the month, but honestly, I had fun with Hydration Stomper, an absolute thirst quencher. I got to tell you, Hydration Stomper ultimately was putting up good stats for me. In my testing with it, I was regularly getting it to like 10 power, 11 power, 12 power sometimes. As a 3 cost, a 310, 311, like that's insane. But it kind of made me realize I don't like playing move, and I don't want to play move. Like every time I play move, I'm like, I don't want to play this garbage. Like, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people agree with me because despite its power, it still only has a 13% popularity, and it's running just a hair under 50% win rate.
I feel like too, whatever we ranked it was just throw it out the window because we didn't know there's gonna be 3 new cards that drastically changed the way that card even played. Like we took into account a lot of what we had, and there's 3 new cards that added to it. But yes, I see. I like move though, especially with where it just depends what I'm doing when I'm playing Snap though. You know what I mean? It depends like where I'm at, what I'm doing. And most of the time Snap is like a very quick game, right? So it's like a lot of time people don't want to get in and be like, man, you know what I want to do right now? Some calculus. So like that typically is not the game that Snap is created to be. I liked him. I think he went above my expectation.
Yeah, he's definitely better than people are going to think, like, give him credit for. He's very much in line with what Speed is. Like, Speed is just a very good card that, like, is not sexy. And that's what Hydra Stomper is. And honestly, Hydration Stomper goes well above what Speed's power levels are. Like, because with Silk and stuff, you're way above. And Silk is a good statted card as a 2/5, right?
Yeah.
I started at 4.5, drifted to 4. I ended up at 4 stars. You ended at 3. I ended up at 4. So I gave him a 4. And honestly, I think if you're a move player, he feels like a 4 cost.
You had him at 2 for the month, though, right? I feel like you had him. You wanted to stick to your guns and do the Alex Coccia wild take. You didn't? Okay, all right.
Oh no, for the final rankings.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second. You want to just get right to it?
I need to hear it.
Do rankings, what we actually rank things at? Okay, here's the rankings, guys. Alex's rankings for the prior month were Goliath at 1, Hydra Stomper at 2, Strange Supreme at 3, Agent Carter at 4, Kahhori at 5, Infinity Ultron at 6, and Dum Duggan, if you remember him, we actually ranked. I ranked him dead last, and he just disappeared. But Dum was part of the rankings. Cozy Snap came in number 1, Goliath. Number 2, Strange Supreme. Dub Cozy on that one. Number 3, Captain Carter. Number 4, Kahhori.
Yeah.
Number 5, Dum Duggan.
I remember that. Yeah.
And number 6, Infinity Ultron, dead last. Cozy, I'm going to give you the nod on the dub on this one.
Dum Dum. He's okay.
Poor Dum Dum. Where did he even go? I even got like a notification on my phone. It was like, Dum Dum just got released into Series 4. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, no, he's not.
Toxie Doxie too. I hate that card.
Fun fact, I unlocked Toxie Doxie, played her once, saw the animation, said that's dumb. This card sucks, and never played her again. Played her exactly one single game.
Got a special spot for her right next to King E-Trade, just right there, just hanging out.
Lasher too. I'm sure you've played many Lasher games.
I love Lasher. You watch your tongue.
Lasher's probably, honestly, a good card that no one's playing. I'll be honest with you.
I think so.
That actually is a perfect transition into our Series 4 review. We do have a couple cards here that we're going to bring. Now, Cozy and I did not rank these cards nor star them because we didn't know they were coming out. We had no idea they were coming out. So, like, they kind of just fell on us. So, that's okay. So, Toxie Doxie, we're going to start with. This was the high voltage card. Want to shout out Second Dinner for making high voltage a fun mode somehow feel like a grind by making Toxie Doxie a little too deep to get. The fact that so many Marvel Snap players saw Toxie Doxie and then decided not to play high voltage because there was like too much grind is crazy to me. Guys, make it easier to unlock the new card. Every decision does not have to be about extracting money from the player. This card should have been easier to get. It's garbage. It should have just been in everyone's collection. Come on, guys. Let's smarten up on that. Toxie Doxie running I'm not even making this up, 29% win rate at a 2% popularity.
29. So bad.
29%.
That's so
I'm not
bad.
making it up, dude.
That's so
Post
bad.
Infinite last 7 days.
That's oof. That's not what some would consider meta. But what is meta? I don't know if they're meta. But what do you think about some of these new cards, man? They're not bad.
Yeah, they're not bad at all. Like so let's talk about oh my gosh, I'm gonna get roasted. I think it's Batroc the Leaper.
Batroc the Leaper. When a card moves, follow it in game plus 2 power is a 1/2. I love this card, man. As a 1, I think this is
sick. I think it's awesome.
I think this is what move needed. It needed something that you can play cheap on curve that wasn't a reactionary card like the Iron Fist move and stuff. This thing could get perfect. I mean, this is a great 1-cost card. Fantastic.
It's a phenomenal 1-cost card. I was getting it to like 8 power regularly.
Yep.
It's crazy. And not to even mention the fact that Hydra Stomper is feasting because now like it's moving alongside stuff, right? Craven loved it because it was like 2 cards moving into a Craven location. It was bouncing all over the place. It was awesome. It is a great scaling 1-drop for move. Not that the Scream decks needed it, but now it makes sense as to why they actually nerfed Scream more. Because they're shadow releasing Batroc. Scream, Captain America, Sam Wilson both got nerfed so that Batroc could live.
If Batroc was a regular season card, we would have loved it. I think it's fine. Like it would have been a fine Series 5. We would have been like, okay, but it's not, and that's what's even better.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give them credit. They released a Series 4 card that like is not Toxie Doxie. This is a legit
29%. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like let's be honest. Like if Batroc, whatever his friggin' name is, apparently he's George St. Pierre. I didn't realize that's who it was in the MCU.
Oh, okay.
So he did a fight scene with Captain America at a couple of points, whatever. This is a legit card. I think it's legit. Series 4. It's a really fair Series 4 card. And actually, for the most part, the Series 4 cards that were dropped are relatively legit. This card in some shells running upwards of a 55 to 56% win rate in Scream-based decks, alongside Hydration Stomper. Overall running a 51% win rate at a 13% popularity. This might be the most impactful Series 4 we've seen in a while. Probably going back to Mobius and Mobius. Mobius and Mobius probably had the greater penetration, but then it got nerfed right away, so I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, Batroc the Leaper is a definite win, and that's going to take us to Topaz. Topaz is like Zorn, except it'll basically send any card that you play into it into the middle. Notably, what's important about that, unlike Zorn, Topaz will send Dagger. It'll send Human Torch. It'll send Vulture. It'll send anything you play into the center.
That you play.
Unfortunately,
Zorn can do both.
Yeah, Zorn does both. That's right. Zorn has the disruption side. Topaz only running a 5% popularity. 46% win rate according to Untapped right now. A little on the low end. It made the bounce move decks worse. Those bounce move decks that run Topaz, for those interested, are running a 48% win rate. They're much higher without Topaz. Topaz shells with Heimdall in Spider-Man 2099, currently cooking at about a 48% win rate. This might be a situation, Cozy, where the decks that we're cooking with Topaz suck. They just suck.
Yeah, and I think Topaz is a great anchor card for the future. I think that like move now and forever moving forward has like a lot of good staples that can really bring it to the next level. It's a bummer that I feel like move, you have to invest in so many cards to have it be a relevant archetype compared to others, like Patriot or something. But yeah, I feel like this will age. This is our classic age like fine wine card, because all of these are really, well, most of them, because of what can come in the future. Any good move card from here on out can utilize that and you know, profit.
This might be a hot take. I really like Topaz.
Yeah, I do too.
I thought Topaz was a good card.
Like
I'm not
Batroc
necessarily a
but
move player. I was playing and I was like, I actually like this card a lot. I tried some cope stuff where I was playing like Topaz, and then I would play so Topaz on 3, and then I would play Hercules mid, and then like Human Torch into the Topaz, so it would like move and then bounce. I thought that was kind of funny. The thing I like about Topaz specifically is the fact that it's always going mid, similar to what Grandmaster does. It allows you to combo with Ghost Spider, so that you can reset back in the Topaz location, for instance, and then Heimdall afterwards. It was a fun card. I almost was, while I was playing it, I almost made me think that, like, I think part of the problem with Move is I don't know if the 3 location system for Snap just makes Move feel like fish in a barrel. Like, I just wonder if Move itself will always feel so unbelievably constrained.
Yeah.
And I wonder if too much focus on Move right now is, I have a dagger that's 30. I have a Human Torch that's 96. Like,
every
it's
move
all about
card that comes
reaching
out
to the stars.
makes draft mode less consistent. No one's gonna want move cards in their deck. I mean, like cards that can move, yes. Move base cards, no. You don't want a Topaz in your deck in a draft mode.
I know. What are you gonna do with that? Like Nightcrawler's fine, but Topaz, no.
What do you think of? So are you gonna go Batroc then, Topaz?
For sure, I think Batroc or Batroc. I don't know how I'm supposed to say this. Whatever. No matter what we say, we're wrong. Batroc the Leaper is number 1. Topaz is clear number 2. And then we have Fanfei, who 4/7 activate cards in their location. Move right. I don't like this card.
Would you like if it was on
it's running
reveal?
a 45% win rate.
Would you like if it was on reveal?
On reveal. Good question. I actually think I think it's okay as an activate. I think it would have been cool if we moved all the cards, not just the locations cards. Maybe that's too strong.
That's just a better Heimdall, yeah.
Well, no, it's activate Heimdall to the left, then Heimdall can to the right, and then Heimdall can send them left.
Yeah,
you got like a shimmy.
That's way too good for a 4 cost.
Slide to the left. Slide to the right.
Yeah, I just hate most high cost activates. I think I just end up not liking what they could do. 4/7's a respectable stat line, don't get me wrong, and you could go well above that, obviously, with the move mechanics. It's the one I liked the least, though. Yeah, I could say that the most.
Oh, by far, it's the worst.
Like, without question.
It's not. It's okay, but like, put it this way: I had these cards in a deck, and I was playing move. I'm like, I'm not having fun, man. Like, I have a headache. This sucks.
How are we doing
I could
here?
just put. I could take Batroc and put him in a Scream deck and just clap cheeks. Why would I do this? Why am I giving myself a headache playing Marvel Snap, playing Fanfei and Topaz? Topaz, actually, I didn't mind. I didn't mind Topaz at all. Pretty synergistic. But Fanfei, I'm like, bro, I just don't want to play this. Like, I don't want to play this card.
Yeah, hard to agree there.
It's just, maybe it's just not for me. Maybe it's just me. But anyways, yeah, that pretty much does the Series 4 cards, Cozy. And that's going to take us to the Snapchat mailbag, my friend. And there was, oh my gosh, Cozy, there were some absolute banger questions this week.
Okay.
Banger questions, including one from Effie, who said, why does Alex look like Mrs. Nesbit from Toy Story?
That's my favorite.
Cozy, I'll let you explain.
Yeah. Alex told me before we started the podcast up, he's like, hey, Cozy, would you mind if I wore this? This is how I feel comfortable. And I'm like, you can wear whatever you want. And now he said, I can't believe it. He was like, can I wear this once a month? And I was like, yeah, you can, Alex. Like, you fly, Peacock.
This is all fake news.
Is it?
There's tons of people that actually don't understand why I was dressed in all pink. That's what's kind of funny about it.
Because you wanted to.
Why are you being so difficult? Let them know that the bet that was staged.
I'll explain it, guys. Alex lost a bet. He is a man of his word. If Alex is one thing, he is a man of his word. And at the time, he didn't know it would come full circle in said bet. But if he was wrong about his Zelda bet about Super Smash, if it was in 64, he would wear pink, and the man delivered. And not only did he deliver, but he went with an extra salt and pepper on top and gave us the headband. And I thought the Miss Nesbitt thing was spot on.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Zelda and Sheik are not on N64 Smash Brothers.
No.
And as a result, I had to pay the price.
And we thought it'd be extra funny to not say anything and not address it one time while we were shooting last time.
Yeah, we wanted to go for like the pure, everyone just be confused. Why is Alex wearing all pink with a pink flower in his hair? Right? It's just, I just think it was kind of funny. But yeah, hey, I am a man of my word. Just like Cozy would have had to have deleted his channel if he was wrong. But he was confident, damn it. He was confident, and he was correctly confident. Maiko and his dough comes in with a great statement that reads, "Love the general video game talk, guys. Keep it coming. Oblivion and Expedition 33 are incredible."
Yeah, Expedition 33 could win Game of the Year. I think it's like to me, it's like a 9 of 10. It's almost perfect, which is really good. Really good for the
Yeah,
the
I've
team
been
size.
playing it quite a bit when I have a chance. I'm like probably 4 hours in or so. I'm liking it. And I don't play those types of JRPG like turn-based battle type things. And I'm like old and slow. I'm not good at parrying and dodging and stuff like that, but I'm like legit having fun. Like I'm like the story's great. The voice acting really stands out to me as being excellent.
How many games in your Steam library do you not play?
Dude, I'd have to look it up. I have like 1,400 games in my Steam library.
So crazy. Have you opened Oblivion?
I don't play any of them.
Have you opened Oblivion since?
Dude, so what happened was I got out of the sewers, I ran into one dungeon, and then I just have not played since.
I knew it.
Have you been playing?
Yeah, of course I have. I do like one mission a day.
There's missions in Oblivion?
Yeah, I wander off, I do what I need to do, and then there's this guy who wanted me to stay in his house because he thought people were breaking in. Ends up that the ship dock guy was hiring these guys, and they were going in after hours, taking all of his stuff. So you stay the night there. They come in, I cut their throats, dead. I got some money for it. They only gave me fur tops.
That's kind of dark fast.
I mean, that's
crazy.
That's how I live. But then I utilized the glitch. I was behind the desk. They couldn't get there, so I was just like firing arrows at them, and they were like, "Hey there!" And I killed them all.
You know what I gotta find out? Like, I don't know if this still happens, but the OG Oblivion, you would like sneak behind someone, take him out, and then a guard from like 45, like literally 45 blocks away would charge. I'm like, bro, there's no way you saw that. Get out of here with that.
My main question is Maiko with his dough. Is it dough like money or dough like Pillsbury dough?
DOH.
So
That's Pillsbury dough.
Yeah, so it's Pillsbury. Love it. Okay, great stuff.
All right, next question comes from Rambros, and it reads, a 3-5 Rhino that removed a location would be the best generic 3-drop in the game. People underestimate how powerful that effect is.
Well, then so be it. He was bad forever. Make him great.
That's my take as well. Make Rhino great. Damn it. Come on. I get it, Kate. They want the location variants, but a lot of locations suck. I want to get rid of them. Inception is God tier. Cozy is trying to help you, Alex. He is doing the Lord's work. Listen to the man.
He won't.
And that comes from Cybersuit.
He won't do it. I don't know why he won't do it, but he won't watch the movie.
My wife said she'll watch it with me. I just don't know where to find it. It wasn't on Netflix when I checked.
I'll pay for it. Just find it.
Just find it?
Just find the movie. I think it's on
I saw it on Amazon, but it cost me like $9. I was like, I'm not going to rent this for $9.
I will give you $9.
No, I don't want your $9.
I'll give you $11.
Well, no, 15.
I draw the line at 13.
13 was the line. That's the line. Okay, I'm going to try and get to Inception. And I do appreciate everyone, the 45 comments that did thoroughly explain which order I was supposed to watch the MCU. The best part about that, none of the comments were the same.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone suggested different, like, I was like, come on. There was a top voted one that was like, this is the definitive list on what you're supposed to be watching. And somehow I already screwed it up because after Daredevil season 1, you're supposed to watch Jessica Jones season 1. Yep. And I will tell you that it is, I do remember in Daredevil them mentioning Jessica Jones by name. One of them was like, oh, I have someone who I work with, Jessica Jones.
You'll
She's
love
been
Jessica
looking
Jones.
into this.
It's a very standalone series you could watch.
Okay. Good to know, buddy. Good to know. And we're going to end the Snapchat here with one final statement. This one, many comments on. Trevor stated, I never thought I would hear Alex tell Cozy, You clapped my cheeks with the little doggy. I'm at a loss for words, truly.
I see. This is like when my nieces say, "Can I listen to your podcast?" I have to tell them no because of you.
It's not my fault, man. I'm referring to the
Generous
magic
Pup.
card.
Generous Pup. It was a 2/2. Yeah,
It was getting counters like crazy. That's the little
Alex
doggy.
only played
He got
Magic with me one
bigger.
time, and now he's too busy for me watching Inception.
How dare you? You blame me for not coming to Magic the
And he
Gathering
didn't call
events
me
you
back.
don't invite me to.
Yesterday, he called me, guys, on the road, and he's like, and I called him back, and I was like, I don't know, 5 minutes later. He's like, hey, I'm busy. I'm doing something. Can I call you on my way back home? I was like, yeah, man, I'm here. Never called
He's
you.
literally lying. You're making this
You
up.
didn't call me back. You said you would.
I did call you back.
No.
We talked on the phone
Yeah, but then
yesterday.
after that, I was like, call me on your way back home. Let me know how you did.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Oh, you didn't hear.
Oh wait, I did.
Just
No.
like you didn't.
Oh no, I forgot to call you back.
Yep, I waited.
Do I
I
gotta
actually
wear
did
pink
nothing
again?
the rest of the day. I just sat on a rock outside on a highway.
You're like that meme where the guy's like staring at the empty pool, like looking into the distance at the swing set.
That was me. You were the swing set. Never came.
Cody, I'm so sorry. I promise to call you
You're not forgiven.
tomorrow.
No, I don't want your call anymore. Guys, thank you so much for coming to another great episode here on Alex's side of the channel. If you haven't subscribed, why aren't you subscribing? If you've been watching this long, you should subscribe to Alex. Like, it's been a long time now at this point. It's a little red button right there. It does nothing to you, and it does a lot for Alex. So click the button. It'd be great. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye. Bye.